Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Long time no stream and long time no see. My laptop died, so I haven't been able to upload anything in how long has it been? Like 2, 3 weeks. Like I literally was working on a Percy Jackson video on the first 2 episodes of season 2. I was literally about to press render, and then my laptop just went. Nope. It went to heaven. It went to the pearly gates, and I was devastated a little bit. I've had a laptop for years. I've had that since uni. I got a second year of uni, I think. Um, but yeah, that's why I haven't been out and about. Also it's a new year. Holiday kind of like caught me in this weird like stasis of like I don't know. I want to do stuff, but I don't want to do stuff. So this stream is me getting back into the swing of things. Today we're talking about Stranger Things, which is something I've not talked about on this channel for well at all ever. Um, Stranger Things is a weird one because it's a show that I really enjoy, but I don't understand that weird cultural phenomenon about it. Like I do and I don't. Like I do like Stranger Things a lot. Like I like the vibe, I like the aesthetic. It has some really cool and iconic moments. I mean, season 4, season 2 has some of my favorite stuff. Season 3 is also just a vibe. Like it's a goofy, silly season, but it's a vibe. So I think when it comes to Stranger Things, before we dive into season 5, let me give you all my quick thoughts on Stranger Things per season. So season 1, I really like. Season 1, I think is a cool concept because in many ways it's them going, okay, let's make ET, except for it's realistic, but well, realistic in the sense of like, what would happen if E.T. wasn't a Steven Spielberg whimsical film? It was like the government's involved, and like we're gonna, treat the alien as like an actual alien, and we're gonna like dissect it and all that kind of stuff. Season 1 is really cool, and there's such a like vibe to it. Not to mention too the like horror aesthetic of Stranger Things is really cool. Season 2, I won't lie, I really like season 2, but I don't remember it. Like all I remember is that Will is like spazzing out for the most part. He's having like epilepsy fits and such. Season 2 does have my favorite moment in the entire show, which is the scene with Dustin at the dance. And he goes to, I think her name's Stacy, she rejects him, and then all the girls start rejecting him. And then Nancy, being a legend, just like, takes him by the hand and starts dancing with him. And then like I believe that's when they play the police song. Amazing. It is like the best scene. Steve Harrington is also the GOAT, and he becomes the GOAT in season 2. He's so great. Season 3, as I said before, it's a vibe. It's very chill. It's very like, summer vibes. Season 3 is fun, but it is also very silly. Like, oh, we're gonna have Robin, Steve, and I believe Dustin's with them. They're gonna watch Back to the Future. Why? Because nostalgia, and we have to capitalize on that. And oh, it's really fun. And then season 2 has, or 3, sorry, has an iconic moment, but it's also very stupid, which is the never ending story montage or sequence thing. Like, it's iconic, it's great, it's really fun to watch, but it's really goofy. Like, it just takes away the whole, like, momentum and tension of the season. And it's like, okay, season 3 is kind of silly because then I swear, like, right after it, Hopper dies, I think. Crazy. Season 4 is a season that everybody loves, but I think is like a mixed bag because like the highs of season 4 are high, and then there are elements of season 4 where I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but also it kind of drags. Like the stuff with Hopper in Russia, I, it's a mixed bag. Like when Hopper fights the Demogorgon, it's cool, but then like Joyce going to Russia with Murray is so like long winded. Anyways, now getting to season 5, I won't lie. Stranger Things is also a show I've only seen the one time. I've only watched it once through. Back what 2022 was when season 4 came out. Oh, and since we're speaking of season 4, quickly, Eddie Munson is iconic. The running up that hill thing is great. And we're going to put a pin in that when we're talking about season 5 because I won't lie, the overuse of running up the hill is just. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Now we have arrived at Stranger Things season 5. Volume 1 of Stranger Things season 5 is awesome. Like, it seemed like the Duffer brothers, they like locked in. They're like, okay, season 4, a bit of it was like padding out, this thing. Like, yes, we're revealing like Vecna and there's a big bad and such, but we're gonna like pad it out a little bit. Wasn't super keen on that, but with season 5, volume 1, the first like 4 episodes, they locked in. They were like, cool, we are going to tell this story. We're gonna set up the stakes. Here's the plan. And oh boy, does this season love going, here's the plan. We're going to get to that when we talk about Volume 2. But with Volume 1, they had really cool moments. Like when the Demogorgons attack Wheeler. Sorry, let me say that again. See, this is why I wanted to live stream. I didn't want to do like a full editing thing, but that's the concept of doing a live. When the Demogorgons attack the Wheelers, it's both a really good scene because, like, Mrs. Wheeler like breaks the wine glass and is like stabbing the Demogorgon as they're like going after Holly. It's cool. Mr. Wheeler gets like attacked and you're like, oh my god, the stakes are like crazy. But then it just kind of like loses momentum. And it's just like, what is the... Oh, not to mention too, when they go to the hospital and Mrs. Wheeler is still alive and she's like talking and it's like, what are we doing? What is going on here? Like, Stranger Things is a silly, science fiction fantasy show, but at the same time too, sorry, I'm gonna cough. But at the same time too, there was like an element of like realism to a point. Like, I don't know, the fact too that all of the Wheelers that got attacked survived was just crazy weird to me. And then the thing that annoyed me the most about season 5, volume 2. Volume 2 takes all the momentum, all the tension from the first bit of season 5 and just goes, nope, we don't need any of that. We're just going to focus a lot on Holly and the kids and Henry. Who cares? Like, that was something that really annoyed me about season 5 of Stranger Things, is that, like, what was the point of introducing Holly and Derek? I mean, Derek is kind of iconic, but there is something annoying about introducing these new kids that we focus on when realistically I'm here for, 11, Mike, Dustin, Lucas. Don't know why I said Luke, but I'm here for the core cast. I'm here for Hopper. I'm here for Joyce. I'm here for Will even. I mean, Will gets his moments, but you know what I mean? Why are we focusing so much on Holly and Derek and all these random kids? I don't care. Like, ugh. Hello, Rockstar Edits. Thanks for being the first comment of the stream. Let me know what you thought about Stranger Things season 5. So yeah, volume 2 is just, oh boy, it just irritated me because it's like, especially when we get to like the finale in the last like 45 minutes of the finale, it's like volume 2 just takes all the momentum of the first 4 episodes and just cuts it completely. And I'm like, what is the point? Like, why are we doing this? Like, it's not to say that all of it's bad, because it has some really good moments. Like, I adore the stuff between Dustin and Steve. Like, yes, in like volume 1, Steve and Dustin arguing is kind of annoying, but I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds good, and I've seen lots of spoiling it, so I'm like, I mean, this is a live spoiler discussion. If you can handle the spoilers, stick around. But your presence is more than welcome and appreciated. What was I saying again? Oh, sidetrack. This is what happens when you stream. Oh, the Dustin and Steve stuff. So yes, them arguing in volume 1 was like annoying. to a point, but like it was understandable. Like I related to it. Like it was very much the older sibling being annoyed at the younger sibling because the younger sibling is being a brat. But it kind of pays off for that moment in volume 2 because although volume 2 is a mess and is boring to a point and ruins the momentum of volume 1, that scene between Dustin and Steve is amazing. Well, like, Steve's about to go on the ladder, but just like super unstable, and then Dustin just goes, "No, don't get yourself killed, stop it." And he starts like freaking out and he's like hugging Steve, and Steve's reaction is just like, "Oh, hey, no, 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 it's okay, bro. Don't worry." So good. Like, even earlier on when they're like fighting and stuff, it's like, it's like I don't want to see the two of them fight, but Steve loves Dustin and he knows that Dustin is like acting out in rebellion. And so like when they fight, you know, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time too, Steve isn't doing anything. Steve is literally just like blocking all of Dustin's like attacks. Oh, it's so good. And like that payoff of the ladder scene is so good. Like it's Gaten or Gatton, right? His performance as Dustin in that scene is amazing. Like him and Joe Keery, like their performances in that scene is just so strong. And then another moment in volume 2 that I did like until it kept on going was the scene between Nancy and Jonathan. Like their breakup scene. I say breakup scene because it's so confusing. Like it's them finally like talking and like trying to like talk about their relationship, and it's cool until they like break up. But like they break up in like a non-verbal way. It's so weird. Like I've seen people say this too. They're in this room and there's like wax or whatever like melting, and they think they're gonna like drown, and they're having this like really big heart to heart. But it's like, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like it starts off really strong where they're just like, "Oh, I hate that you get high. I hate your writing sometimes, all this stuff." I like that stuff. That back and forth was really cute, and it's also like a sign of Jonathan and Nancy actually talking. Because I won't lie, their relationship was pretty. Like it starts off developing quite well until I think it's season 4 where like he's all high all the time and stuff, and like nothing really comes of it, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like I don't like this. But then we get to the scene and it's like, oh, Jonathan's gonna propose to her, or he thinks proposing might fix it. But then as they talk, they realize no, we're just not compatible. But like we still care about each other. It's a good scene until they break up because they don't explicitly say, okay, yeah, we've broken up. It's confusing, it's weird. A thing about volume 2 that I did like as well. Was it anything that I like? I wouldn't say it was volume 2. It was the end of volume 1 when Will like discovers he can like control Vecna's powers and stuff. That's pretty cool. Now, the thing about volume 2, and I have to be like delicate talking about this because I don't want my words to be misconstrued and stuff. The scene where Will comes out to everyone, I think on paper it's written okay. Like apparently from like the LGBTQ community and stuff, they like the way that the scene is written. They like what Will is saying. My issue with it is the timing it comes out in the season because it is so just random. It just comes out of the blue. And it's like it's not built up upon. It literally just again stops the momentum of the story. It stops them going after Vecna. And they're just like, okay, guys, I need to tell everyone that I'm gay. And it's like, okay. Do you know what it is too? And I realized it. It's the fact too that Will's about to tell Joyce, right? And then he's like, no, we're gonna stop this. And we're just gonna invite everybody into the room who like half of them don't even need to be there. Like, why is Murray there? Why is Murray there? Why is I don't even know who the hell's on there, but like everyone's in there, and it's like, why do we have to bring everybody, especially the people that don't even directly know Will or talk to Will? Why did we have to bring them into the room and go, right, I'm gay, everyone? And it's like, as a viewer watching it, I was like, timing. You should have done this like earlier on in the season. Why are we doing this in the second to last episode? And why are we stopping the momentum of the story just for Will to go, I'm gay? Like, it's so like clunkily like paced in the show. And like, I don't know how I feel about Noah Schnapp's acting, because there are some times where he's good, and then there are other times where I'm like, nah, he's not good at all in this season. All I remember is Widow. It's like season 5 starts off very strong, volume 2 ruins the momentum, and the finale, the final episode, is just a weird one. Like he was saying that I was like the way, like he was saying that I was like way did he? Rockstar. I don't get what you're saying. Try write that again. Um Let me, what was I saying? Yeah, okay. So let's get into the finale then. Funny story about the finale. So me and my friends, we like had like a watch party. We like stayed up till like 1 a.m. on New Year's Day to watch the finale. We were all locked in, we are all excited. Netflix crashed. We witnessed Netflix crash. It was good fun. I literally watched most of the finale up until the Vecna fight. I fell asleep. I don't know how I fell asleep. It felt like I just blinked. I woke up, and then my friend looked over at me and was just like, "Did you enjoy the Vecna fight?" I was like, "Yeah, it was great." I missed it completely, so I had to like go and rewatch the Vecna fight again. Um, and yeah, the finale. I meant that when he says he was gay, I like the way he had wait to say that he's gay, like everyone's almost. Yes, I agree with you, Rox. With what you're trying to say there. It just felt like he went like, okay, guys, this is like super important. I'm gay, and it's like I'm pretty sure most of the people around you know that you're gay, but also too, you made it like Will made it this big thing. It's like you didn't have to make it this big thing. It was just like, anyways, going back to the final part of Volume 3. So I rewatched the Vecna fight. I mean, it's cool, but yeah, when you think about it, where are the Demogorgons? Why did they beat him somewhat easily? 11 doesn't really do anything. Like, do you remember in season 3 when 11 was like super powerful and was like killing all the Demogorgons and stuff? All she does in season 5 is walk around and like snap military people's necks and stuff. And then when she fights Vector, all she does is just like do all these super powered jumps. And it's just like, yeah. And she's like, her nose is bleeding all the time. I will say, whenever 11 has like a nosebleed and then she like wipes it away, it's pretty iconic. It's pretty cool. But that fight's like fine, I guess. And do you know what? Good on Joyce. Good on Joyce for giving Vecna the final blow, chopping his head off with that with the axe. It's pretty cool. But again, it's the thing to where it's like 11 and Will technically be Vecna. Will's not even in the same room. Like, what are we doing here? We're trying to do this big final fight, but Will's not even in the room. But yeah, Joyce killing Vecna, pretty cool. But we get to the whole like 11 sacrifice thing. I won't lie, that whole military subplot with Linda Hamilton was an absolute waste of time. Why did they get Linda Hamilton? Why did they get Serkana? Terrible Arnold impression, I know. But why did we get Sarah Connor in this very small nothing role that didn't really add anything to the story? It was just a bit dumb. it wasn't good. And then 11 sacrifices herself, and it's pretty dumb. I guess, like, oh, I'm just gonna sacrifice myself because the cycle has to end or whatever. And then the thing that's like dumb about the scene is like the military people start crying when Elle sacrifices herself, and it's like, why are you crying? Like, you don't know her. Why are you crying for? Is but then that leads on to probably a good part, no, the best part even of the episode, which is the last 45 minutes. I do think Dustin's graduation speech is a bit weird. Is he's just like, yeah, screw the system, I'm cool, Hellfire Club for life. And it's like, okay, you are the valedictorian of the school though. Like, what? Um, but that whole like wrap up bit of like Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan and Robin on the rooftop and they say their goodbyes and how they miss each other. Pretty cool. That was pretty nice. I did like that stuff. And the final like Dungeons and Dragons game with the gang in the basement, really good stuff. And that was the section that felt the most like Stranger Things. I was like, oh, we're like back to the tone of Stranger Things now. That's cool. But like, I don't know. I don't know. Part of me wishes like that was the tone for the rest of the season. Like season 5. I wish it didn't like focus on the big scale monsters and the upside down and Vecna and all that stuff. I do kind of like miss the vibe, and it's the vibe they went back to in the end of the episode. I miss that vibe of like, yeah, the gang in the basement playing D&D, and then 11 comes along and it's like this smaller intimate story. It was nice to actually see. Like, when I think of the Stranger Things finale, it's not like Game of Thrones season 8 where like everything is ruined and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, there are plot holes and missing plot threads up the wazoo with Stranger Things, but I liked it. Like the ending itself was satisfying, even though like, where's Susie? Why does Dustin not mention Susie? His girlfriend from season 3 and season 4. Why don't they mention her? Like, you could have just had a thing of like, oh yeah, we broke up because Dustin's being Dustin right now. He's being season 5 Dustin, and Susie doesn't like that. Completely fine. That would have been fine. But like, wow, what? And then the other like big thing with that whole like D&D thing is like Mike is like telling everyone, oh, here's the story of the sorceress or 11's character, the mage. And Will's all like, yeah, she survived and she went off to this land with the waterfalls and stuff. Which just made me go, him telling the story, she's 100% dead. Like, I know that like the Duffer brothers were like, oh yeah, we left this ambiguous and such, but she was dead. Like, I'm pretty sure 11 is dead. Like, when you think about it a lot, like the whole point of Will making up this story of 11 going off to this place and such, and her like surviving, and Kali casting like a like conjuration spell or whatever to like make sure 11 could escape and stuff. It's Will coping, right? Like, she's 100% dead. Like, I do see like, oh yeah, no, it's literal, blah blah, but I don't believe it. I do think that 11 is dead, and quite frankly, I don't mind it. I actually think it's a nice ending, and in many ways, Stranger Things is 11, and so if we're gonna end the show, then end it and have 11 be dead. But at the same time, too, I keep hearing like, oh yeah, the Duffer Brothers want to like keep going. There's like spin-offs and sequels and blah blah. But then also too, apparently they want to move off and like do other things as well. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it's a thing to where it's like Stranger Things season 5 didn't like ruin the whole show or anything. Again, this isn't like Game of Thrones where like, although there's like writing problems and there's like issues with the story and such, it's not awful. Like, yes, it lost me in the middle of the season, but it doesn't ruin the entire show. Do you know what I mean? Um, and there are like cool visual things, I guess. But then also too, you look at like the visual effects, like the green screen of like the upside down battle and stuff. It looks a bit wonky. Like it doesn't look as good. I don't know. The more I think about season 5 of Stranger Things, I don't think it's bad. It just it could have been much better, especially when like you think about volume 1 and how much volume 1 was like setting up things and it was going to be cool, and then you get to volume 2 and it just ruins that whole momentum, and it's like, here's Holly and we're going to focus so much on Holly. Why did we focus so much on Holly? Like, again, it just ruined the momentum of the season. Excuse me. I'm just thinking, do I have anything else to say about Stranger Things season 5? I know this isn't super polished. I just wanted to get these thoughts off the top of my head and get back into the swing of things of doing some YouTube stuff. So I'm streaming. Is there anything else? I'll talk about like character dynamics, I guess. The issue with season 5 with certain characters is that either they didn't get enough to do, or they kept doing and saying the same thing. Like, I got really bored of Hopper telling Eleven, "Oh, you need to train harder. You need to survive. Elle, you can't kill yourself. You have to come back alive, and that's why I'm not sending you on these crawls." It was pretty boring, especially too when they get to the Upside Down and they're just there the whole time, and they're just going, "Oh, we have to go and do this. Oh, we have to go and do that." And it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're just doing the same thing over and over again. Joyce, although Joyce gets like the cool final moment in killing Vecna, she didn't do anything. Like the whole season, she's just there to like hug Will and go, "You're my boy. You're my boy, Will." And it's like, okay. And Will for the most part this season was either just there to cry or he was kind of a Deus Ex Machina. Like he could use like Vecna's powers and stuff, except for when Vecna could like, take control of him and then overpower him. And it's like, okay. Hello. How you doing? What did you think of Stranger Things season 5? If you've seen it. Cause yeah, I don't know. Stranger Things is a weird one. Like, I think at the end of the day, when like we think back of Stranger Things. Hello, hello. Um, I like that. That's cool. Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments. Yeah, I think when we think of Stranger Things at the end of the day, I don't know. It's gonna be a show to where like people remember it fondly until they think of the last season. But again, too, when I say the last season, I don't think season 5 ruins the show completely. So like people will still look on the show fondly and be like, "Yeah, I like this." But there's a lot of like writing problems. Like I know there's a bunch of like TikToks and memes to where it's like, "Oh yeah, you know, every episode they like go, okay, this is Vecna and this is us, and then that's the Upside Down, and we're gonna do all this stuff." The amount of like memes coming from that, yeah, I get it. Oh, I'm dying. My throat is killing me right now. I'm gonna have a little bit of water. But yeah, going off that point, I was saying, or I keep trying to explain, I don't think season 5 of Stranger Things ruins the show. People will still look back at it fondly, and all the highs of the show, like, running up that hill and Eddie Munson, and my favorite scene in season 2, and the vibe of season 3 and stuff, people will remember it fondly. It's just that season 5 is a bit clunky in the way it's like written, and it either ignores certain things in the way it like ignores certain things, or it doesn't, focus on certain things in the way it just forgets certain characters and such. Yeah, it's a weird one. Strange Things. It's a weird one. Anybody in the comments got anything to say? Any points? Anything you want me to talk about? Because I'm also just trying to think too. Have I said everything that I needed to say? Going on about like character dynamics and stuff, I guess. And going back to it, Steve and Nancy, I didn't think we're gonna get back together this season. Like in Volume 1, there's that scene where like they're talking about the plans and they accidentally touch hands, and Nancy's face was just like, I don't like this guy, Steve. Don't do that. And I did believe Steve to a point where he was all just like, yeah, Nancy's just a friend and such. Granted, the stuff between like him and Jonathan, like climbing the tower and stuff, didn't love that. But I've seen worse like romantic like conflicts and stuff. And I'm also happy too with the fact that Nancy doesn't end up with anyone. Instead, she's like focusing on herself. I think that's within her character. There's nothing that like betrays the core of her character or anything. And I'm happy too that Steve, he's a like baseball coach and stuff, and he's like teaching sex ed to like kids and stuff. Kind of funny, and it's kind of fitting too for his character. Like where most of the characters end up, I liked it. And also the final scene of like the final D&D game, and then they like leave and the younger generation come in, like Holly and dipshit Derek, or delightful Derek, suck my fat one. I enjoyed all of that, and I think it's kind of a nice fitting conclusion. But I don't think Stranger Things is like a masterpiece of a show or anything, and I don't think the final season like hit the nail on the head. Like I feel like people talk about it, but it won't be like in the same way people talk about the Game of Thrones season 8 finale, or the way that people talk about like other great finales, in terms of like people will mention it, but it'll be a thing to where people will like eventually they'll be like, oh yeah, Stranger Things ended. I don't think it's super memorable. I'm dying. Oh man. Have I said what I've needed to say? Let me just talk about characters very quickly again. So I mentioned that the Hopper and Eleven dynamic was dull. 11 this season as a whole as well was dull. Like she didn't do anything. Like again, it's a meme, but all she did was just like mog at the camera, being all like it was like she's doing nothing. Mike, for the most part, again doesn't do anything. Lucas has some like weird lines. I don't know. Dustin is a G. Like when I think back on Stranger Things, my favorite characters are Dustin, Steve, and Hopper. They're like my holy trinity, my holy trilogy of characters for the show. I think they're pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say. Oh, Robin! Sorry, I need to bring up Robin too. The way they characterize Robin is bizarre. Like when you go back to season 3, Robin, like yeah, she's depressed and she's got like her own like thing going on, and she's like growing throughout the seasons. But you get to season 5, Robin, and she's like making all these weird jokes, and she's saying all these weird things, and she's talking in such a weird way to where I'm like, that's not entirely Robin. They like rewrote her to make it almost like neurodivergent, but like more heavily neurodivergent, because in season 3 and stuff, you could like, imply that she was neurodivergent. But you get to like season 5, she's just saying random things, and I'm like, that's not the Robin I know. Like again, the Steve like dick joke or whatever she made. Why? Why did she say that? It's so random. Like there are so much elements of the writing. It's just bizarre. But like, I wouldn't say that I hated season 5, but it is the worst season. Like, I'm just thinking about rankings. And don't take this as like a definitive ranking, because again, I didn't do like full like show rewatch before watching season 5. I'm just going off my last rewatch, which was like 3 years ago. Yeah, no, 4 years ago. 4 years ago? 3 years ago since season 5 started. I think it's like 1, 2, 4, 3, and then 5. I think. Could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe I'll rewatch the show and I'm like, oh no, yeah, season 3 is amazing and season 1 is the best season. I think season 1 is the best season, but I remember at the time really liking season 2. But yeah, I think that's everything. That's everything I'm gonna say about Stranger Things. That's all I've got to say. If anyone has anything to say, hold your peace. If not, end of the stream. Give the one person watching their time in the spotlight if they want to say anything. Okay, no, it's gonna be a quiet one. So, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Stranger. I'm tired. Wow. Let me know what you guys thought about Stranger Things season 5 in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll be back soon with like proper videos and maybe more streams. I'm enjoying streaming. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the show, and I will see you next time.